Thanks so much, Nathan. You know, lighthouses, they really are a benchmark, if you will, of our national identity. Great to visit and great story. Thanks for that, Nathan. And thank you very much for tuning into the Weather Network. Michelle Mackey joining you with your forecast for the east. Let's begin in Newfoundland, where we are looking at a slight wind chill for your Tuesday morning. But the same cannot be said for the Avalon, St. John's. We're talking about temperatures well above seasonal, no wind chill, and that is all thanks to a southwesterly flow of air that is ushering in those warm temperatures. You can see the yellows. That means we're above the freezing mark. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for our maritime provinces. We are well below seasonal as we move into your Tuesday afternoon and continuing through the week. That is all thanks to the passage of a cold front. We also have rain. Now that is due to a low pressure system that's really developed over the past day or two over eastern Canada. This is what we can expect in additional rainfall through your Wednesday morning. But again, the bulk of this will be falling Tuesday as this system departs on Wednesday. Collingwood, for a ski or a snowboard, you really can't beat the winter blues any better than that. Here's what we can expect Tuesday morning for our wind chill. Toronto, feeling like minus 16. So that's a big drop in comparison to what we saw on Monday morning. In fact, Hamilton, so warm it actually broke a record for this time of year. Tuesday afternoon, though, no records. Say goodbye to the records, feeling like a minus 8. And again, that is a trend that's going to continue throughout the day. But as we move into the end of the work and school week, we are going to see some warming. Saturday for Toronto, expecting to be around that freezing mark, so not too bad. But before we get there, particularly as we head further to the north, snow. That's what we can really expect. Labrador City, for example, we are looking at 30 to 50 plus centimeters of snow, all thanks to that system clearing up as we move into our Wednesday. Your locals are next.
This one.
By Wednesday. Yeah, lots of snow. Thanks so much for tuning into the Weather Network. Michelle Mackey joining you, and we begin our national forecast in the east, where we have a low pressure system bringing with it a mixed bag of weather stories. We have a wind warning, winter storm, rainfall, and freezing rain warning, all in effect for our maritime provinces and Atlantic Canada, also affecting Quebec. And as we track further to the north into Labrador, that's where we have primarily a winter storm warning. That means we have a mixed bag of a multitude of winter precipitation, if you will, affecting one area. We also have a blizzard warning for Hopedale. 444 rule comes into effect when we determine a blizzard, at least 40 kilometer per hour sustained winds, less than 400 meters of visibility due to falling or blowing snow, lasting for at least 4 hours. Here's the rain we can expect by your Wednesday morning. The bulk of this falling by Wednesday morning. Again, this is pretty snow on the ground, but the temperatures, they were above seasonal. So that's the good news. All right, here's what we can expect for your Thursday. A look ahead. We have high pressure moving into the province. That's going to dominate on Thursday, and we are looking at clear skies, seasonal temperatures. But as we move into your Friday, we have a clipper that moves into northern Ontario, and by Saturday, this will be a story for southern Ontario. Snow expected, and we're also looking at an increasingly strong low that's advancing towards the Avalon by Sunday. Meanwhile, in the west, this meters per hour. Over 25,000 customers without power. Most of them have had their power restored, so that's the good news. And we are quiet, as we can see through the overnight hours Monday into Tuesday for the southern coast. The bulk of that wind staying to the central and north coast with sustained winds offshore coming from the south around that 40 to 60 kilometer per hour mark. Sliding across the Rockies, snow's the big story. Now, we're not going to expect too much. This is all thanks to an Alberta clipper, but you can see through Wednesday morning, places like Slave Lake, that's where we're seeing the highest amount of snow, 5 to 10 centimeters. But as it tracks east into our prairie provinces, places like Saskatoon, less than 2 centimeters of snow. It begins to lose a bit of its moisture. Here's what we can expect in our look ahead. High pressure dominating the south coast until about Wednesday, when this Pacific low begins to track further to the south, bringing with it a really wet and end to the week, and that's going to continue as we move into our weekend. You really can't complain if you're heading up to ski, and you know what? It's a beautiful time of year to do that. So that's the good news. Temperatures as we head into the overnight to the north, yeah, they are going to be really cold. The purples, that's an indication of temperatures of at least -15. But as we move into the end of the week, we are going to see a warming trend. Will this continue into next week? We'll talk about that in our Long Ranger coming right up. 2014, don't want to miss that. Mackey joining you. It's great to see you. Let's get into our forecast. Lots to talk about as we look into Ontario through the overnight hours, beginning with the wind chill. We have winds coming from the north, funneling down cool air. So moving into your Tuesday morning, you're certainly going to want to dress warm in preparation for your Tuesday, especially if you're spending any time outside, because we're looking at temperatures around that -15 mark, wind chills even lower than that. And that really is a trend that is going to continue throughout the day, but looking a little bit further ahead into the end of the week and into your weekend, we are looking at a warming trend. We have more on tap. I'll get into some of the numbers momentarily, but first, let's talk about Newfoundland. We have that southwestern flow of air. We're really seeing those temperatures bump up for Tuesday morning. The same cannot be said for the Maritimes, though. Well below seasonal throughout the week. That is all due to the passing of a cold front, really ushering in those cold temperatures. Now, from our national forecast, let's take you to something a little more global. No, this is not a fancy picture of Jabba the Hutt, but instead this is our global upper level wind map from Monday. So to explain the science behind this, the eyes, that is where we have our stationary vortices, if you will. Those are very common in the winter months. As we look at the eyebrows, that means that we're talking about winds over that 250-kilometer mark. More on our website. Your top 10 weather stories of 2014 begins in just 30 seconds, but first a look at your national forecast for Tuesday. Beginning in the west, where high pressure is dominating the south coast of British Columbia, mild conditions, sunny skies, and that's a similar trend as we head into Alberta, above seasonal temperatures. That Pacific air, really warm, begins to push further to the east as we head into the week. Seasonal for Ontario and Quebec, and as we move into eastern Canada, stormy conditions. Your top 10 begins now.